to Southpaw Diecast. I'm Scott, and today we have another race car, and it's an Indy car. And the reason why I'm doing this one is because Boss Championship Racing is holding another event, and it's going to be IndyCar, and it's going to be this casting, which is the Indy 500 Oval. And of course, me being a big 500 fan, I am going to do a tribute car to Al Unser Sr., his 1970 Johnny Lightning Special. And we're going to get this all looking really good and get it ready for the competition. Stay tuned. Okay, so we got the Indy car all apart. And the horrid orange interior, that's going to get painted silver. And then we're going to do a little bit of detail to the driver. We have to keep the same wheels for the rules. And I'm going to keep the base black, and we're going to get the body in the citrus strip and get it ready for paint. So stick around. Okay, so it's that time again, the orange toxic goo, aka citrus strip. Time to put the IndyCar body and strip off all this lime green paint. And down she goes, and we're going to let that soak till tomorrow. And then we're going to see how the casting is. We're going to buff it, prime it, and give it some paint. So stick around. Okay, I got the IndyCar out of the citrus strip. And now, of course, I'm going to go over with the Scotch-Brite wheel. A little kind of difficult on these Indy cars and F1 cars with the wing and the nose and stuff. But I do the best I can with it. And then I can prep it with the primer and then get it ready for paint. Alright, let's move forward. Okay, so now after I went over the IndyCar body with the Scotch-Brite wheel, it's now for some Tamiya fine primer. Gonna put a light coat of that on it before we hit it with the blue. And I'm just making sure I get the back of that wing. There's a lot of little nooks and crannies right there. Okay, let's move on. Okay, so after we let the Tamiya fine primer dry, now it's time to put the blue paint on. And this is a rattle can again, and it's a good color that I bought. Now in 70, which is the car I'm doing, the blue seemed to be a little lighter in a lot of pictures that I saw. Now in 71, when he came back again with the #1 car, seems like the blue was darker. So I'm going to do his other car as well, and I think I'm going to use the darker blue. So I'm just going over this, getting a nice even coat, and then after this dries, it'll be time for the decals that I got from IndyCals. They do such a good job for IndyCar, Formula One, IMSA, Le Mans. Alright, let's move on. Okay, so here we have the interior, which I've already sprayed it with Tamiya Fine Primer. And now I'm going to paint it this bright silver, because in the front of the interior and the back of the interior, they're like A-arm covers. And I want those silver, and then I'm going to go ahead and detail the driver up real nice, make him look good. And I'm actually going to paint the helmet red because Al's helmet was red back then. Alright, let's continue. So I got everything done on my Indy car, and which is going to be entered in the Boss Championship Racing downhill on April the 13th. So I took the driver compartment and the interior and I detailed that as best as I could. Now the two little black squares you see right there and there, that's weight that I had to add because you can add weight. And then two more on the bottom. Painted the helmet red, and if you look real close, you can't see it from here, on the side of the helmet, the name Al Unser is on that helmet. They had helmet decals. So we can't do nothing with the chassis, can't do nothing with the axles or wheels, except when I put them in the car, I can use some dry lube to help them spin better. And then, of course, here it is, Johnny Lightning Special. Now, this is the number 2, which is the first year he ran the Johnny Lightning car in 1970, and he won the 500. He would come back the following year in 71, and the car would be number 1. But this is the number 2 decals that I got. I actually had to finagle a little bit of the decals, but it worked out really good. Actually, that piece and that piece are supposed to be connected. It's supposed to be one piece, but it wouldn't fit. So I cut them, and I think that looks just as good. So we're going to get this thing together, and we're going to see what it looks like. I bet it's going to look fast. Stay tuned. Okay, so this is where we started with the Indy 500 oval casting. So now let's get to the reveal and see what it looks like. Okay, here she is, my customized Indy car. It's the Indy 500 oval casting, and I customized it up as a tribute to Al Unser Sr., his 1970 winning car. He would come back the following year in 71 with the number 1 car, and he would win it again. So this is one of my entries of 2 for the Boss Championship Racing Downhill event on April 13th. So you guys ought to check that out when it's on YouTube. And if you guys like this video and like the car, leave a comment down below and let me know. Hit the like button and subscribe, because it's always free. And I'll go ahead and film the second car that I'm going to be doing, but I'm going to leave that a secret until we do it. So have a good one.